All right, hey, welcome back, everyone. We have a special guest here with us this week, BK. He came with us to MagicCon this past weekend, and this is a special MagicCon post MagicCon episode. We're gonna talk about what happened at MagicCon, what didn't happen at MagicCon, what stays in Vegas, and Roger, how you doing? Roger did
Chilling,
not go to
yeah.
MagicCon, by the way. this year, right? One day, Roger, you're coming with us next year, right? Hopefully.
I'm definitely coming.
Okay,
Yep.
so yeah, so we have BK, Roger, and Jared. I want to start off by talking about. I want to go around the room. We're not in a room. Around the screens, and for those who went to MagicCon, share one. What was your favorite moment or thing you did? Okay, we'll start with that, and then we're gonna move on to what was your least favorite. And then Roger, feel free to throw in some shade, some comments, some questions, some FOMO.
Love it.
All right, BK, we'll start with you. What was your favorite thing that happened or you did
Um,
at MagicCon?
I'd say probably the Tarkir Dragon Storm, the collector booster uh, draft. I mean, that was a fun set to kind of draft, and because it's kind of big, stupid creatures flying at each other, um, it just was like a simple thing to jump into. And on top of that, opening up collector boosters is always exciting.
Yeah, did we get anything good?
Foil, no. I
Well, there you have it. Don't open it. That's gambling for you, right? Opening packs is pure gambling.
like a crater hoof was the only thing we
Creative, yeah.
got.
Not. It was
Uh,
not showcase, and it was not Halo foil. It was like the borderless crater hoof, which it's like has like the black art from Tarkir Dragonstorm. So actually, oh, I have it right here.
yeah.
It's this one. I don't think you guys can see that.
Oh,
The focus is
Looks pretty.
terrible. But anyway, you get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jared, how about you? What was your favorite?
I'll just throw in the caveat of like I think we can all arguably say hanging out and getting to play some Magic it was probably the highlight of
Mm.
everybody's thing. I'll just throw that in. But for like my own personal thing, it was getting card signed.
Getting cards. I
Um,
know, yeah.
which I think BK and Eugene already knew I was going to say that, and probably Roger because we
Yeah.
already yapped about it way too much. But yeah, I mean, I have a couple here. So some cool, interesting artist signatures that they do shadowing where they do two colors on top of one another, and everybody's got their own like unique signatures that they do. And you know what? To be honest, some of the coolest ones they're in my deck, so I didn't bring them
Are
out
those
right now.
unsleeved?
Those
You
are all
are
unsleeved right now.
you are a madman.
They're good. I haven't got a
No.
chance. Well, first of all, like all these cards. Well, Morphling might be worth a little bit, but
It's
like
stop
like
touching them.
a few bucks.
Stop touching them with your
But,
greasy hands.
Yeah, put them in a
I just
envelope.
haven't had a chance to put everything in my. They're gonna go on. A lot of those are just gonna go on my folder. The ones I'm playing are already in their decks. But yeah, I got highly. We went to MagicCon for the first time last year, and I got like 3 things signed, and I thought it was super cool. So this time I went prepared with like a gang of things I wanted to have signed.
Yes. Are you planning like what about next? Like are we okay, so I think I think it's speaks for itself. Like we're gonna go again. Are you gonna go and get
Okay.
more stuff signed next time?
Yes, but I mean less things. There's like 2 artists that I didn't get. All the artist lines are like the popular ones are super long, so you just kind of have to pick and choose. Uh, so I didn't get Richard Kane Ferguson, who's really known for what is it, Dakin Blackblade art, Arcane Denial. He's got like a really kind of interesting art style that you'd really recognize. I'm trying. He did like the newer Force of Will. Uh, either way, it's a kind of like messy looking art, but it's really interesting. It looks like all of its stuff always looks like it's in the middle of a storm. But I didn't work out this time, and I got some stuff that I wouldn't mind signed by him. And then there's another guy, the guy who did Ocelot Pride. If you do hit, everybody's got a lot of people have like a specialized signature you can get. Not everybody, but the people who do. Sometimes they will just have a really crazy signature where it'll cover up like the whole text box, but it looks like lightning or some crazy thing. Or there might be one. The Ocelot Pride one was the Ocelot Pride in the picture are coming out of the cave, and he's basically supposed to like make an expansion of the cave on the text box. So they do their art, they do their signature, and then they create art around it. And then some people did like the secret signature where somebody did like a black light pen, and they alt their art, and if you put the black light on it, then you can see the alt that they did on it. So everybody's got, there's a lot of crazy ones.
And you can and you can tell Jared is really into the art, because that is really, I'm glad. Hey, I'm glad. You know, that's what's great about MagicCon is that there's something for everyone, for all Magic
sure.
players, right? They're the hardcore grinders, and they're doing the PTQs. They're the casual drafters that just do on-demand drafts or you know, events like sealed events and things like that. And then you have people who play Commander. They even have, you know, they have competitive Commander events. And then there's I don't know, standard players, modern, Pauper, and people who just want to get their cards signed. People who actually wanted to go to watch like game nights or Commander nights, or what is that show called? Live.
Game nights live. And then if you're also, there's plenty of people who really just like all the the content creators, and you can go and get like signatures from the content creators and stuff like that. Yeah,
you can go and meet the content creators. So there's so many things to do. So that's awesome. So for me, my favorite thing would probably be, and of course, other than just hanging out and having a good time with my friends, it would probably be winning those competitive drafts, because the prizing was just ridiculous. I mean, I got lucky enough to do the Final Fantasy competitive one on the first day, not because I was able to buy the voucher, because as if you watch my other video, you can't get the voucher unless you're like Black Lotus, but I was able to buy it off my friends, and I got 9 Final Fantasy collector packs from that, which is pretty good. And then I did a Tarkir competitive one, and I won a box and a half of Tarkir collector. So that was really awesome. BK, what were you saying?
Oh no, the best thing about it, let's all be honest, was the money that we got. Basically, just free money that they were giving out, because the set was outrageous. We're watching the freaking price of a collector box go up like crypto, you know, like biting our nails, refreshing TCG player. And as we're walking around, people are like, how much is it now? 60, 70, 80? And eventually it hit like 100.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a million booths there for you to buy and sell individual cards from, and product, like you could sell the packs that
they were buying them for $60, which, you know, that's 60. You know, the vendors typically buy things for about 60% of the market value, so that makes sense. Market value was $100 a pack. They'll give you $60 for it.
So I mean, but just even looking at that, I mean, if you just bought a one-day ticket for how much were they?
I don't remember,
$70
70 or 80.
Premium? Let's say it was 80. Like the one ticket you bought, a premium ticket, and you got the 2 packs. If you wanted to, you could just sell it, and you literally would have made money. Just selling it at that incredibly, probably like too cheap of a price. But if you just wanted to unload it and not deal with it, you literally would have made money.
And don't forget the Torgo. The Torgo, Clive's Companion, Yoshimaru promo card, which is worthless.
But they would have bought it. Wouldn't they have bought it for like $10 there or something like that? Yeah. I mean, and then that's already just selling the 2 packs that you got with your ticket and the Torgo. That was already $130 when you spent 80. Just selling it there.
Pilgrim. I don't know how much that's worth. Yeah, it's probably worth nothing.
Yeah. And here I got here's Torgo.
There he is. Worthless.
So bad. It's like Microsoft.
But how about Jared? Show the other promo we got. I don't have it on me. So.
Oh yeah, it's right here. It's right. So you had to be part of a draft to get this, right?
Apparently, you had to be part of a Final Fantasy, and it couldn't be on demand. It had to be a Final Fantasy like team event.
Ticketed
team event. Not
Oh,
ticketed. Yeah, it's like one of those
interesting.
scheduled team events.
So you got this, which is a Swords to
Wait,
Plowshare.
Jared, is that not sleeved?
It's in a. I'm keeping it in a plastic case. Okay, it's in a
I'm
plastic.
seeing-
It's in a,
I'm
you need a
seeing
sleeve.
which
dollars.
a sleeve doesn't
Yeah.
fit in that kind of case.
You got it. Well,
right?
you
But-
got to use a perfect sleeve.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
I don't own any perfect
I'll
sleeves.
give you some
I own
perfect
like
sleeves.
one
You
or
need-
something
I'll
like
give you
that.
some perfect sleeve.
Okay, either way. Okay, but
Is this
it's
a
in there.
sponsored
It's
fit,
fine.
Eugene?
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. But look, so
Perfect sleeves.
so you get this Swords to Plowshare though, and which is Final Fantasy 14, and I believe it's a part of a like. 'Cause then you have this Final Fantasy card that they also give you, which is the twin or whatever character they are, but they complete a picture together.
Cute.
Wow. You just lost $20 worth of value handling those cards right now.
Keep your greasy paws off of them.
I know.
But
you-
yeah, so tell
Animal.
Eugene, tell everybody how much that pair of
Okay,
cards is
so
going for right
we
now.
were walking around the con where the vendors were, and they have like buy lists. They have like these big screens, and they'll put all their buy lists, and you can see how much the cards are. And I saw like, oh wow, they were buying that Swords to Plowshare, just the swords, for $100. And I was like, there's if they're buying it for $100, it's worth more, right? Like usually like at least 40% more than what they're buying it for. And but you couldn't find it. It's not listed on TCG Play, and I still don't think it's listed. You can only find it on eBay right now. And so I didn't make much out of it. I just had a feeling it was gonna be worth more than $100. And then on the third day, my friend came up to me. He's like, "Hey, did you want to sell yours? Because they're buying them for $300." And I was like, "Whoa, what's going on? It's like so expensive." So then I went to look at the price on eBay, and it was going for $600. Currently, I believe it's like $500 right now. But for the set, you have to sell
It's gonna
both.
go up.
You have to sell them both. Okay.
Yeah, and I think like the swords is like $200 or $300 just for the swords. So it's like 50% of the value or whatever. But let's be real, like, who plays that Final Fantasy game? You just want
That's the only reason that the set is selling a little.
because you
got
gotta complete the art.
Because you gotta complete the art. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So who knows where that's gonna go? I don't know, but it looks really cool.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, if
Yeah.
we had known, which obviously we didn't, and some people did, you could do a bunch of those events and get multiple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, you got that win or lose.
Yeah.
'Cause we lost.
Oh, we lost. We lost miserably. That's the beauty of it, right? Well, hey, did you guys hear about the Tifa promo, the one that you get for participating in the PTQ? Okay, so let me work my magic.
basically,
BK, you want to talk about the PK?
All the Tifa stuff is worth a
No,
lot.
when there's like a foil version of it too, right?
Yes, let me pull it
Is there
up
a
while
poll?
you guys talk about it, if you know.
I don't because
I don't know much about it. I just saw the art and it looks really amazing.
Which
I guess.
Tifa is it? Because
Well, it's like a special
I forget. I don't know.
magic.
But the art looks nice.
Oh no, but is it the martial artist from the commander decks, or is it the mono green one from the set? Do you know?
I'm not even sure if you can share any.
I'm not sharing right now because I need to. Oh yeah, I can't mess that up. I can't mess it up. I'm just gonna put it up for the pod.
Yeah.
I'll add it in post because I can't find it.
Yeah.
But let me just. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, but which do you know? What do you have it in front of you? Which one is it?
Oh hey, we did not buy any merch at the Square Enix booth because there's some cool sleeves there that we didn't get.
Square Enix was there?
They had a booth, I guess.
Yeah. It was the line was. There's always a line there too. There was
So
a huge line of Ultra Pro. I don't know, BK. Did you ever walk it? Did you stay in it or not?
I went into the line and they basically they said they came up to me and they came up to the maybe 3 or 4 people that were next to me. And they're like, "You guys are uncertain. Everyone after this, you have no hope. You're not gonna get it. You can stand in this line if you want, but you're not gonna get the Sephiroth or the Cloud playmat or whatever, right?"
Yeah, that's what the line was for.
Yeah, and I didn't really even care about the products. I just know that they're worth a lot. So I was just like, okay,
I found it.
It's interesting, right?
Okay.
But eventually they just told us that there was no hope, and there was still like 100 people ahead.
I have it
So
on the screen for the podcast, but you guys cannot see it. So it is just Tifa Lockhart. It is the Landfall one. I have it up right here. The art looks amazing. It looks really cool. So the non-foil they're going for about 1,200-1,300 non-foil, and anybody who participated, you didn't matter where you finished in the PTQ, you got this. Okay, so that's a
Oh my
non-foil.
God.
Now, if you were able to make top 128 or something, you got the foil one. Take a guess how much that's worth.
On top?
Yeah, you get both. You get the foil one and you get non-foil one. Non-foil is worth 1,200-1,300.
Nice.
7,000.
7,000.
Five Gs. 5 Gs.
I say 7,000.
5 Gs.
5 Gs.
5 Gs.
I was on it.
5 Gs.
All right.
And if you
Yeah.
make top 128, you get the 5,000 foil one. And then if you make, I don't know what place you have to be to make day 2. Maybe like top 32 or top 64 or something. Then you get another foil one just for making day 2.
Wow.
So that's
like
11, 12,000 just in those 3 cards, the promos
11,700.
by doing that PTQ. And yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I've watched some videos recently about just how. It must have been an alpha investment video where where he's just talking about how insane the prices are of these. I mean, everybody's talking about that, but just how unheard of the prices are in this set for all of Magic, because those numbers, like, they were selling like beta Black Lotuses at some of the booths, and they were like between 10 and 15,000 for some of them. Dude, the numbers we're talking about for things you could get now are more than a Black Lotus. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
And you don't even have to be good. You just
Yeah.
join and you'll get this $1,000 card. I mean, and being top 128, I'm sure it's tough. I didn't try. I wish I did. If I knew, oh man, I regret that. I regret not trying. But anyway, well, also I heard that a bunch of people sold their promo card for like nothing.
one?
Like even the non-foil one, they were buying them for like $100 or $200. The vendors, and people sold it to the vendors,
okay.
and now they're like, it's like 1,200-1,300.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
Yeah, don't unload. Like, if you're thinking about unloading, at least wait till Sunday.
Yeah, hold on to it for a little bit.
At the very least, wait
Yeah.
until Sunday, because things are gonna change.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, only other fun thing was I was the only one who decided to open my
Yes,
cartridge packs.
we filmed it. It's on
I
the
know.
channel.
Yep. So any of those 4 packs that were open are
Yes,
mine.
Jared, tell everyone what was your best
yeah.
pull.
My best pull was he's in a sleeve. All right.
Hold up, you have that in a
it's-
sleeve,
it's-
but not your $600 Alpha Nod promo.
Okay. Look, I just haven't. Okay, he was in the folder, and it's a long story. Okay, but yeah, okay. But either way,
I don't think it's a very long story. I just
This guy,
You know
this
what? It's
guy
because
drafts.
I've been
Pretty clear.
busy.
It's pretty clear
I've
what
been
happened.
busy.
Nah,
I've been busy.
this guy
All right?
drafts and does sealed, like limited, and does not sleeve his deck. And he'll pull cards like $30 plus cards, and he'll just like, I'm just not gonna sleeve it. And at the end of the draft, I look at it like, okay, well, you just lost like 10 to 15% of your value because your card's no longer in
Yeah.
mint condition.
you just like stuff it in his Jansport and then just walk out
There you
unsleeved.
go. But then and I bridge.
Oh, it's probably even
Oh
worse.
my God. No.
But you know what? I mean, okay. Well, one, when we had to share cards, I made sure.
Thank
to
you
sleeve.
for
All right,
that.
'cause
You protected my Bahamut, which I have right
and-
here.
I mean, if I pulled a card that I was pretty sure I was just gonna sell, then I would probably do that, or maybe I just would decide not to play it on that behalf.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'll show you guys the back. Yes, I'm touching it.
With your greasy paws.
Okay, but the back, what it
Oh.
transforms into
Do
is
that.
pretty cool.
Give us a little. Was it the thing where you move it around so we can see the shininess?
Yeah, sure. Here we go. So
Wow.
there's
I like the
the
back
the
better.
front. I do too.
Wow.
Yeah, the back's nice.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Kef. So for the price that we got these at, which was averaging like $40 a pack, right? I think if you just took our ticket into consideration,
Yeah, you got
this was worth more than the 4 packs I opened. But if I paid full price, then I got screwed.
Yeah. So don't buy Final Fantasy collector packs at $100 a pack. You're gonna lose money unless you hit a Neon Ink.
Yeah.
Chocobo, obviously the serialized Chocobo, or like a foiled through the ages mythic. Like even that one is only like 170.
Okay.
You gotta hit like a
Yeah,
Surge
and I mean-
Foil, Sephiroth or Cloud or Tifa or something.
To make up the
Yeah,
the
and
difference.
it's so hard to do that.
And I guess when you think about the prices of those chocobos, like, I mean, they're not even that crazy when you consider that you're going to pay that much for the box. They literally, if you bought a collector's box and opened one of the lower expensive
Yeah,
chocobos, it's just the price of your box.
Do you guys
Which
remember
is
when we
insane.
talked about we remember our last podcast? We looked at the price of the chocobos,
Yeah,
neon
like
ink,
crazy.
the neon ink ones.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
well,
How much
it's
is it? Like
changed. It's
17?
changed, guys.
Seven?
I'm gonna
Sorry,
put it up on
7?
the screen right now.
7?
You guys cannot see, but I want you guys to guess where they are now. And if you recall, and I don't recall exactly the numbers, but I would think, what was the number you guys remember it being at? Not
Like 12. I think it was like, I want to say 12.
Roger?
1200. Roger.
1200. Okay.
It's depending on if the black one's still
yeah.
worth the
So
most,
we're
though,
talking about
right?
just the non-black
Black
one.
one was 5,000.
Yeah, I
The
think
non-black one was 3,000 for the blue one.
Okay, well,
thought
so
it
I
was
think it was closer to
I thought it was
1,000 for each of
1,200.
them. Is my memory, but we'll check the tape, which we won't.
I'm gonna guess 1500.
So anyway, they've all more than doubled since last time we recorded. We have the blue one sitting at 2,900, the green one sitting at 3,700, the pink one
Ooh.
going for 2,400, and the yellow one going for 1,700. They've only gone up since then, and let's see what the black one is going for.
5.
I don't know how to find the black. It's called the Japanese exclusive. So the black one
Drum roll,
is
Jared,
sitting
drum roll.
at 6,500. It has doubled basically from before, because I think it was 3 last
Wow.
time. Well, see,
Crazy.
now that these have gone up so much, it does make opening the collector booster packs a little bit more worth it if you hit these, right? Because like it's like a
Yeah,
$3,000, and you could get but that also makes opening the Japanese collector boosters so worth it, because the Japanese collector
Yeah.
booster boxes are only like 700 each.
Yeah.
They're not, and you can get all these neon ink chocobos, the exact same versions. They're in English in the Japanese box. So if you buy a,
Are they mythics or rares or what? Like,
they're
like,
mythics.
insanely rare,
They're
right?
very, very rare, but if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
if you're chasing that or whatever, you buy the Japanese one.
Listen, I think my advice is don't spend $700 on.
Okay, but
collector
but the
boosters.
English one's 1,200.
That's fine.
Okay,
That's fine.
well, like I also
But-
later I want to talk about the impact. I'm gonna talk about that in another video. But we got to move on. So we're gonna talk. Let's talk about we talked about the good things. What is like a negative experience you had, if you had one? What was like the worst part of the con for you, BK?
Okay, I have a couple of things. All right, first off, the worst part is the food. The food is like frozen garbage. It's the worst food I've had at a con. I think they're all like that. And to be fair, they had like food trucks outside and all of that, but you have like thousands and thousands of people, and you're feeding them essentially what, like, I mean, even an elementary school kid would like reject. But anyways, that's just
Hey.
my thing. And charging like $17
Hey, elementary school kids are picky, man. They don't want to eat, But yes, $17
Fine, whatever.
for garbage.
for garbage is a horrible food. Anyway, so that's one gripe. The second thing is, I feel like MagicCon could be improved with like a light application of like planning and technology, because you think about it, and 60% of the time you're spending standing in lines, right? And the whole point of the con is to sit down, play, meet people, and do stuff. But when you have 1.5 to 2 hours in line just to buy merch, right? That's ridiculous. When you have to go to a ticket play and you have to wait in line for another 2 hours for that, then you're taking away from the point of what the convention is about. So I think that, if my local restaurant can text me back when my order is ready and I can go pick it up, then they should be able to do that kind
Like
of
a
with like the
virtual
store.
line?
Don't have a mob of people. Yeah, exactly. So you go there, you sign up, and then you text, you can maybe place your order 15 minutes before, and then they'll let you know when it's ready to pick up, rather than having 600 people standing stagnant in a line when they could be sitting at the tables playing. A lot of those tables I saw had plenty of empty space, and most people were just standing in line for either merchandise, events, or artists. And artists I get because you want to meet the person and all of that. But I think that the MagicCon focus has been more about selling exclusive product than about kind of creating that kind of conducive environment for people to just
I
kind of
think
meet
this one in
people.
particular because it's just Final Fantasy. It's just so wild. You know, maybe like the non
Yeah.
Final Fantasy MagicCons, they're not as they're a little different. But yeah, Jared, what do you got for us?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say on that exact same note. I mean, even some of the artists implemented things like this, and it worked so much better. Which is, it's a callback card. You go there first thing in the morning, and they'd give you this card with a time to come back. And the longest line, oh my gosh, the longest line I stayed in, which is like the most popular artist there, is in Chris Ron. And he even gives you a
Oh.
sticker because you waited in.
I
Waited in his
survived
line.
Chris Ron's line.
That's awesome.
Okay, and it's a 3-hour
that
line
sticker
to
worth?
get his signature.
Oh my god.
Probably. I don't know.
Because you didn't have him sign it.
But yeah, like versus this is Elena Danner. She's the one who did Jewel Lotus.
The band
and,
Jewel Lotus. How does she feel about that? Did you ask her?
Oh no, I didn't ask her. No, I mean a lot of people still get it signed.
Well, now
Beautiful
that the card
card.
is worthless. Yes.
I think they were still getting it signed before that. But I mean, even Richard got it signed. I think it was. I don't think it was banned yet. So people were still doing that. A lot of people were doing it. But either way, you went there and they gave out all these in the morning. If you went first thing and managed to get one, then awesome. You know that line's really quick because they're literally giving you a card and that's it. And then cool thing is it's got her art for Odawara on the back and she signs that too. And that's proof that you used it.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, for him, I feel like it's kind of, for this guy, it's kind of just like a badge of honor that you waited in it now. So that's a different thing. But for the people who are doing, even Rebecca Guay or Gay, however you say her last name, Guay, who was there, and I don't think she's been in one in a little while to do signatures. She had you pre-bought your signature on her website, and then you came back at an assigned time, and she just did it fast. And these were like, even though she was super popular, it was like 30 minutes tops that I waited to get this done. So there is definitely ways they could have been implementing some sort of technology, or even just a callback ticket thing.
Yeah.
Then again, there would be a secondary market where people wait in line to get the ticket to get in, like, you know, the collector's booster thing, and then it's like, here, I'll sell this for $100, and then you can go
at least
it, right?
the artist line fiasco is not related to Final Fantasy. Can you imagine if Amano was there?
Yeah, for sure.
That would be crazy. He wouldn't come.
I don't know.
But anyways, wait, sorry. Also from sorry, I just wanted to add one more thing about, it's not just like it's an inconvenience for the people who are going to stand in lines all the time. But what I noticed was that a lot of the staff are overloaded taking care of all of these orders at once and dealing with these giant mobs of people. So like, you know, like, I think these people are working super hard all day from, you know, the beginning to the end of the con, and like to have a mob of people that they have to manage the whole time while they're trying to do their job, you could see that there was exhaustion and, like, you know, tiredness setting in. So I think it would be good for both the staff running the convention as well as the participants to, you know.
And they definitely had to deal with some like vocal abuse because they'll cap the line off. Like for some of the artists, they were capping the line off because it's like at this point it's lunchtime for the artist. You can't get in line. So, and people were like, "What the? How can you do this?" Blah, 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 you know, and it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Less eating, more signing.
Yeah.
So Jared, what about you? What was your negative, worst thing about the con?
I mean, I guess I guess it's line related. That was a great. That was a great one. The one that was popping in my mind is when we decided to wait in line for the merchandise for
Dude,
an hour.
I'm
and then-
sure it was
Oh
more
my
than an
God.
hour, man. It was more than.
Yeah,
An hour and a half. Hour and a half.
1 hour and a half. An hour and a half where when we got in line, they had Final Fantasy boosters.
Dude,
of
by the
all
way,
kinds,
they
and the secret.
they were selling the Final Fantasy collector boosters for $38.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we got in line to get collector's boosters and normal boosters and the secret lair that they were only selling there, which is dragons. I didn't know or didn't totally know if we were going to get the collector's boosters or anything, but I think we were. I know, Eugene, you were going to buy the secret lair at least. So like I was at least thinking we're going to get there and hopefully we're just going to get I'm going to at least get the lair. And we were at we were like next 20 people like to go, like we waited a very long time already, and then they told us they told us they sold out of everything. So it's just this gigantic waste of time where we could have been in line somewhere else or playing Magic or anything.
So sad, man. Like, okay, so for me it's that it's not just the lines, it's the fact that you can't, like, everything is scalped, or you know what I mean, like, and you don't even have an opportunity to really get it.
Yeah. Especially with Black Lotus.
Because a bunch of people commented on my video that I had made, and some people with Black Lotus VIP status gave some details about that, and so they estimate around 500 Black Lotus people. They were able to get into the con an hour before anybody else, and not only that, but every vendor every vendor were also able to go and buy stuff before anybody else came.
Before everyone came.
So all the vendors could just go in line and buy all the collector boosters and then sell it for $38. And
that's horrible, because their whole point is to go there and monetize the product, and this should be an event for
yeah,
people
and it's
to-
terrible because then there's nothing for regular people, for like the regular attendees.
Yep. That's interesting.
The vendors
Never
aren't even
considered that.
attendees per se.
Yeah.
They're there to work or do whatever they're doing, but they're
Make money.
making the experience for the regular attendees worse. But I guess it's the fault of the convention organizers for allowing them to do that.
Yeah.
No, I think so. And I get it. It's hard. It's hard to run a huge event at the Vegas Convention Center, but you're also making millions and millions and millions of dollars per set selling this product. And if the whole point of it is to create a good community, kind of locking out all this stuff behind a paywall doesn't really scream inclusive, right? It's just more kind of like, okay, you pay and then you can get all the product you want. You're a vendor, you get all the product you want. Me and Eugene got there maybe like
8:30,
an hour and a half to 2 hours before. Yeah, we're the fifth line in.
Third.
But because the third line to go in. But of course, after the Black Lotus
And
people,
the vendors.
by the time we got to the places that we wanted to buy the product from, they literally had said the line was capped already. So effectively, if you
have to
didn't
be in
have
that first line,
Black Lotus, you just have no shot.
which I heard is like you got to line up at like 6 a.m.
Wait,
That's
Oh,
500 people getting product before you.
was that on Sunday? You got in line that
Yeah,
early? Okay.
even on Sunday. Like I thought Friday and Saturday, like maybe Sunday we'd have a shot. There was none.
Yeah,
There's
no
no
shot.
You're not getting the product.
You're not getting
unless
anything
you
unless
get
you're Black Lotus VIP. And then there's the limit of buying 3 collector boosters at a time or whatever, but you can just go right back in line and buy it again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
And then somebody said so I heard allegations on Reddit that there was bribery. Like you could bribe the shop workers to sell you as much product as you want. I'm not.
What do you bribe them
cash?
with?
No,
Tickets?
cash. I don't know what
When
the going rate was or anything like that. And somebody in my comments confirmed it. But I totally believe it. Like, here's $50. Let me get 5
Give me one
boxes
more of
of
those
collector
bags.
booster for like $400 each.
Yeah. because they don't care. They're just like, okay, take it, whatever. That's $50 in my
Yeah,
pocket.
I don't know
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
going rate was or whatever, but I can see that.
Yeah.
And apparently, also someone in my comments also said that they just asked, the people giving out the swag or whatever for, yeah,
For the ticket,
they just
for your-
asked
for
for
your pass?
extra
Yeah.
Torgal Clive companion promos, and they just gave it to them.
What?
Because did you see the bucket they had?
mean,
It
I
was
don't-
like thousands of them.
Yeah.
It sounds people are probably chucking it back after they looked at it and they're like, I don't want it.
I mean, if you could get 100 of them, you can sell them for $10 each.
No, I know.
Anyway, who knows? But I'm sure stuff like that. And then I don't know if you guys weren't there. So on Sunday afternoon, I went with Eric to go turn in his tickets, and at that point the ticket line was wild because everybody was they were about to close, and everybody needed to submit all the rest of the tickets, and they were so busy, and the workers were tired, and they wanted to go home and all that. So I understand, but like they never even checked how many tickets we gave them.
Oh,
So you could have given them less than what, or you could have asked for more. Like, hey, here's 50,000 tickets. Let me get that or whatever. Like they don't check. They didn't even check. But I'm certain not
Dang.
every worker did that. But like the worker that we interacted with, like he didn't care.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Well,
But
otherwise it was
fun.
awesome. We're going again.
Yeah, well, one thing that I did that I don't think you guys did is they lots of the vendors had just like big boxes of rares that you could sort through. You had to be willing to do it, but most of them were selling them 3 rares for $1. So yeah. So if you went there, I went through one box. I ended up buying I bought like 15, and it was like
that's
$5.
awesome.
And yeah, right. So none of them are valuable, and they're all getting scuffed up because a million people are sorting through them. So there's no value. But as a deck builder, it's freaking awesome. It was just like, oh, I've always wanted that. I've wanted that. So I went home with just a bunch of them.
We should do a thing where we make commander decks out of that. We have a budget, and we go into the rare, delve into that, and then
Yeah,
do a game.
that's a cool idea. And I also ended up I bought a Terra Magical Adept while I was there, at which it's crazy. Like I had to look around for her for a while because I just wanted the standard one, and even she's $8, and everybody was going pretty much at like a TCG price there, pretty much, but the borderless one, just because she's a mythic and a Final Fantasy character, borderless jumped her from like 18 to from like $8 to $18.
Yeah.
Just
is the
to get her
borderless one
So
the Amano art?
No, the Amano one's different. So I'm just talking standard art to standard art borderless was a $10 jump. So I had to hunt for the normal one, but I've eventually found the normal one. Another cool thing, the thing that I'd always wanted to do there is like this is a place where I was able to. I'd wanted to trade a Grim Monolith for Wheel of Fortune for a long time. I was finally able to do that. Very able. I had to find the right vendor to make it work and everything. By the way, I don't think you guys tried to sell anything. The buy lines were crazy at all the vendors. Fortunately, the one that I wanted to was really short, but the majority of them were very, very, very long. You would have spent at least an hour or more because a lot of people were selling stacks of cards like that big, so it took a long time to sort it.
Wow.
I think next year we should log how long we're in lines for, and then do a percentage of the entire trip of how long the convention's open
The
total,
day goes by
and
so
see
fast.
what percentage we're standing in line. Go ahead. No, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm just because I have to leave right now. But I was gonna say I definitely think last year I played more. I think I played more last year.
Yeah. This was more.
Well, you
standing
went
in
to a
lines
lot of
and,
more artists this year.
True. So yeah. So that's true. I think we all knew more things we wanted to do too. So I don't know.
That's the silver lining about the next MagicCon is that it's not going to be a Universes Beyond set. Hopefully, there's less interest, and then we can actually sit down at a table and play rather than.
I mean, there's gonna be interest. It just won't be as
unless it's Avengers.
No. It's gonna be Strixhaven.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Later.
All right, I gotta go, guys. Peace out.
All right,
Yeah.
Roger. Oh, I have you. You're looking all strange here because Jared left.
Sorry, I also have to go.
All right. All right, we're just
so
gonna
I'll
end
catch you
it.
guys later.
End it here.
Well,
Yeah,
Sorry,
Roger,
guys.
you have a question for me, right? Because these guys are
I gotta go
later,
to dinner.
BK.
BK.
All right.
Good
Wow,
seeing
we
you,
are
bro.
looking weird
So,
right here. So, but I don't even know how to fix this. Just go ahead. We're just gonna look a little bit weird. It's okay.
So one question I have is just after going to just learn more about business and networking next year or in the following years when you do go, because you're trying to build this channel, because you're also trying to build your store, like conventions like this are a great way to do the networking thing. Do you think MagicCon is one of those places as well? Like you can go and like you had, I mean, Square Enix was there this year. Who knows who's going to be there next year? And then all of the Magic people are there. Like, is it a good place to go network, or are they just too busy for you to even have that opportunity to network with like a YouTuber that you love or a distributor that you would like to get in connections with?
No, I mean, I don't know about distributors. I don't know anything about that. But like, I don't think that YouTubers or whatever are too busy. I saw a bunch of them there. They're just hanging out, playing. If they're not doing their event, meet and greet event, or whatever they're doing on stage, and we're talking about the more popular ones, right? They're just hanging
Yeah.
out, drafting, or playing and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think so. I think they're not too busy.
That's cool. All right, something to think about. Because I never thought about it before. I used to go to shows and like all sorts of things, and you have A&R people there. You have people who are managers for bands. You have people who are in publishing that go to these giant shows, and it's just a great way to network.
Yeah,
So
I
I think
heard.
the same way.
I was
Like,
talking to this guy, and he said that him and his friends at some other MagicCon, you can get like an uncut sheet. You can use your tickets to get like uncut sheets of certain sets and stuff like that. And they had like a really nice one, Modern Horizons 3 or something, and they bought it and they gifted it to some famous content creator. I don't know who. And I was just surprised. And I think he mentioned something like it was for networking purposes or something like that. Like you got to bribe them to get an audience with them
You
or
gotta
something.
bribe
I don't
'em.
know.
the bottom line is the
The
bribes.
bribes,
Be
dude.
sure
That
you
was
go back.
happening. The bribes are happening.
Dude, all right. So my final question is, was there any cool like clouds walking around, Sephiroth walking around, Yuna's walking around?
Yeah,
Like,
there
how was the
were
cosplay?
some, very rare. There were a couple. There weren't any that really caught my eye, like, wow, that's awesome or incredible.
That was-
So I wouldn't say none of that was really too memorable. I didn't see too many. I feel like there probably was like a cosplay contest. There's no time to watch any of the shows. You barely have time to do, you know what I mean? There's so many things you want to do. And like, if you think about it, like a draft
Yeah.
takes like 4 hours. So you miss
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, it
And a
does.
line for anything, waiting in line for anything takes like 2 hours to wait in line for like, I think Jared said 3 hours for Chris Ron's signature. So you're like, either
Jeez.
you're in
All right.
line or you're spending 4 hours on a draft or something like that. So all the time just flies by.
Dang, dude. Do you think they spread it too thin? You think like it should be something maybe a little more compact?
I don't know. No, it's good, but you just gotta prioritize. Yeah. So it's awesome though. It's a good thing that there's so many things to do for different people with different interests, all related to Magic.
No, dude, that's the best part. Yo, you know what would be cool? I was thinking about what BK was saying, and then I was like, it'd be tight when they finally put out the Commander version of Arena, where if you're in line, you could actually like link up with people who else are in line, and you can play a Commander game in line.
Yeah.
That might be something cool
Yeah.
to do for those
One day.
1.5 hours you're
One
spending
day
there.
they might make Commander on Arena or some other version of that. All right. Well, thanks for joining, Roger. Everyone's gone already, and we're like, you got to see how this looks. This looks really weird right here. But thanks for watching this week. We're gonna talk. I think we're gonna talk about Edge of Eternities next week. It's time to move on because Edge of Eternities comes out in like 4 weeks.
Jeez, too
Yeah,
fast.
4
too
weeks?
soon.
No, not 4 weeks. No, I think it's coming out in like 7. Pre-release is probably in 6-ish, something like that. All right. Well,
All right, cool.
thanks. See you guys later. Bye.